Good evening, team. Good evening, both Zoom and YouTube. Let me know whether everyone able to hear me. Yeah, just now I unmuted. I was cross-checking Trevor in my other system. Okay, thank you, Arun, Rajesh. Good evening, and Vaiva Vachla, Praveen. Good evening. So at 6, we will start today's topic. I hope you all can able to see my slides. Okay. Okay, after a long gap, yeah, back to Java. Okay. Hi, Stalin, Tamarai, Sandhya. Good evening and good morning. Let's begin the session. Okay. Good evening and good morning to both Zoom and my YouTube team. Hope you all doing good. So we are done with almost all the topics in Selenium till previous class. Please work it out, do it practically, because when you practice fully those topics, it will be easy for you after you get job and enter into a team, then you can manage the productivity. So from now, how much you practice is your, it's that decides your productivity in your team. And also we have discussed all the advanced topic from where we will get the interview questions, every stuff. So just do the revision on those topic after coding it. And then first 4 days we saw Java, almost we completed like 30%. From today, we are going to fully focus on advanced Java, that is OOPS concept. We have so much of stuff to discuss in the OOPS concept. So you can able to understand just with 30% of knowledge, we can able to work in any type of automation Selenium project. It is proved just because just 4 days only we saw the Java and we moved it, we completed all the Selenium stuff. Now the remaining 70% is something which decides your offer letter, because even though you answer well in the Selenium part, definitely a lot of questions we will be asked from the OOPS concept. And nowadays, uh, because as per our syllabus, it's just a core Java, but nowadays the interview questions are coming from Java collections also. That's again very advanced Java. So what I have decided is once we complete the OOPS concept, we will be learning the Java collection again, that's a very big topic, not everything, which is very important for interviews. Those topics we will definitely discuss for sure. Maybe the sequence I will change after advanced Java, we'll go to the TestNG, once TestNG, Java collection. So that when you go for an interview, we should not leave any topic. We should able to answer all the questions what they ask. Because recently some of our folks, our teammates, attended the Infosys interview. They asked all the questions from the Java collections only in Infosys automation interview. They felt very tough. Later, those topics were covered offline. So again, so that's why I decided to add those topics for this present batch also. Then, if you want to remember these, whatever we are going to learn from now, I'm sure I don't know how long it will go because I'm going to go very slowly, maybe 8 weeks or 9 weeks from now. So make sure you code it because Selenium is something it's very easy to understand. After you code it, also you can explain it. But Java is something quite complicated to remember and how to explain in interview because explanation is something very tough. Because in Selenium we can say like these are all the method like get method we can launch, get handles, it will give all the Windows details. So that's just a one word, it will give a lot of answers. But when it comes for Java, the Java knowledge for every developer, it will vary. We don't know how complicated questions they will ask. We are not sure about it. So better, whenever you code it, you try to explain that concept in some simple English. Then only it will be easy for you to clear any interview. So these are all the things I'm saying in the starting itself, because you can't prepare interview in just 1 or 2 days, like one day before exam, like how we do it in university stuff. That will never work out here. So from now itself, everyone can able to code, but whether you can able to explain what you have coded is very important. So that area you have to focus. Okay, let's begin. A short recap, we will do it. We already know what is the OOPS. OOPS stands for Object Oriented Programming System. And then in Java, everything we consider as an object. Then we took a car as an example. So every object will have its own state and behavior. That we call it as variables and method. We already focused fully on variables, that is instance, local, static variables. Now we are going to focus on methods. And a collection of all these classes, we call it as collection of all these objects, we call it as classes. And again, classes can also be defined as blueprint from you can create another individual object. Then we saw one example like considering a company, every employee as an object. So if you want to save their data, then how we will use these variables? There are some data which are unique to every employee. We call that as a instance variable. We save it in the instance variable, like our name, our employee ID, all personal data, including email ID. And some data is common for all the employee, like company name, company address, company contact number, company email ID, HR name. So we will save those data in the static variables. And again, the third type of variable, that is a local variable, which is nothing but to do the temporary calculations, we use those variables. So these are all the topics we are already discussed. A short recap, because I'm saying it again, the same concept, what we learned in variables, we will apply it in the methods. It means someone new to this class without watching my previous video means first watch the variables and then just watch this video again, then only you will get the full concept. Okay, now instance variable. As I already said, the data which are common or which are specific to that, not common, which are specific to that employee, we call it as instance variable. How to declare it? It must be always inside the class, outside the method, this place. And then value of the variable changes from object to object, because every employee will have their own details, and due to that it is also called as object level variables. And if we want to access this instance variable, then what we should do, we have to create the object instance. So what is the syntax for that? Class name object name equal to new class name constructor. Class name in this example is instance variable, and the employment and the object name, it can be of any name, and using new keyword which is assigns the memory location, the constructor name will be exactly same as class name. Then object dot, you can able to access all the variables. If you want to follow the same process for employee 2, then create the object instance for the employee 2. We already discussed, and just doing a revision. And then the second type of variable, that is static variable. There are some details which are common to all the employee. So instead of declaring for every employee, every one by one, it is again waste of memory. What we can do is we can use the keyword static in front of the variable. So static variable name. It means this is common to all the employee, and exactly the position, it is inside the class, outside the main method, and it can be declared using the static keyword. After that, since it's a single copy, it will be created at a class level. So we call it this as a class level variable. And then if we want to access a static variable, you no need to create the object instance. Directly, we can use it. And then local variables, that is the variables which we use it inside a method for some temporary calculation purpose. Once the execution come out of those method, these values will be erased. It will be null or it will be empty. And we can't access the local variable from one method to the another method. So these are all some basics you must remember before we start today's topic. And then Java user input is also completed. That is how to get value during the runtime. Please let me know in case if I missed it, because quite confused with some 3 batches. We are done, I think so. I can able to see that code here. It's Java user input. So we have already sent how to get the value during runtime. Just now Java method. Again, it's a very important topic. If you understand today class alone, you can directly work on TestNG. Like how I said, like 30% is enough to work in Selenium. With Selenium, it's not fully completed for an interview. You must know a framework. That is like TestNG is one of the best framework in the market because it's free of cost. To work in TestNG, just today topic is more than enough. Just 20%, even less than that. If you remember this, how to write method, not only in TestNG, Cucumber, any framework which works on the method or a function, what we are going to discuss today, those concepts will applicable. Okay, first, what is Java method? Till now, we are coding one linear flow. For example, if you see here, linear flow instance, for example, let's consider you have written a program based on your input, it will tell exactly which method. So this is one linear program. Now, others want to use this means two ways they can do it. One is they can code it by one more time. Again, it's waste of effort, or else they can reuse our code. So if they want to reuse our code, what we should do? We have to create this as a method. If we create a method, then they can reuse it. So how to create a method is the one we are going to discuss. And already we have seen so many inbuilt method like math dot, maximum, minimum, absolute. So what is the meaning of inbuilt or predefined method is already Java or Oracle is providing some methods to us. You no need to waste time to code it. Directly we can reuse the method. I hope you understood the meaning of method now. Let's see as per the definition. Method means a set of statements that are grouped together to perform an operation. Like types, we will see two types. One is predefined or built-in method. Next one is user-defined method. What is predefined or built-in method is the methods are already available in the Java. So you no need to code it again. That's why they call it as built-in or predefined methods. And then the next one is user-defined method. That is, we are going to create these particular methods. Then how come this particular user-defined method is going to help the automation is, let's consider we have a test case one. Test case one, login, then search, then log out. Test case two, same thing. Instead of search, they may have like book. Test case three, same step. So login and log out, it's common for all the test case. If you consider 100 test case, all the 100 test cases, the login and log out going to be a common one. Now, instead of coding every time, what we can do? We can create a user defined method so that when you created once, next time when you design the test case two, you can reuse these two and you will code only for booking. So that's where the meaning of reusability comes into the picture. So method you're going to create it. Why you want to create user business logic? Because that can be reused. Effort can be reduced. That's the main reason. The use is reusability. And again, easy modification. Easy modification in sense you have a three test case. So you coded every time login, search, log out, login, book, log out, like that in as a linear program. Now, if some object changed in login means, if it's a linear program means what you will do, you will go and update in all the three test case. It's just not going to be a three test case. What if it's we have 50 or 100 test case? It's going to be more effort rather than if we make everything as a reusability means it will be in one place like a login that will be referred by take a reference of that method, then they will reuse it. So when we able to update it in one place, automatically other test case will be updated. There comes easy modification. One place you do it, you no need to touch other codes. And readability, you can able to see how the program will look like a linear way or like a different business logic method means it will be good in reading. Now, fully we are going into the user defined. In the user defined, first we will see theory stuff, then we will pitch into the coding part. There are two types. First one is instance method or non-static method, and second one is static method. Exactly whatever I said for variable will applicable for even methods. Here there is no local method, so you can leave that local variable concept. Just remember instance variable, static variable. So instead of instance variable, we say instant method. And instead of static variable, we say static method. And another name of instance method is non-static method. Mostly they will say like create a static method and create a non-static method. So these two methods we are going to learn. And these two methods again contains two types, which returns the value without returning the value. Okay, let's see with an example. Selenium. Login. You're creating a method. Login means you will give username, password. You will send some value. So it will launch the application. It will enter and click on it. That's it. Here we are just method without returning value. You are calling this method, it will perform the action. I don't want any input from or any output, not input, any output from this method. So that we call it as method without returning value. Now method which returns the value, maybe register demo. If you create a method, we already automated this flow. Once you complete the registration, you will get a successful message with some transaction number. The transaction number is the one we needed, right? So that after it completing, it should give me some output. That's what we call it as method which returns the value. So purely depends upon our requirement. We have to choose it. For example, log out, login, search user. These are all something. Go and perform the action. I don't want any output from you. No return. I don't want any written stuff from you. Okay, register booking, creating the policy, creating the patient, admission. So at the end, it will give the patient ID or admission ID or the policy number, because those are all the important data we have to take for future reference. So it should return that value at that time. We'll take method which returns. Same way, whatever I said, we can apply for static method. So let's try to, whatever I said now, we will try to do with some simple concept. No need to complicate with tough programs. Very simple examples like sum of two number, product of two numbers, like that we will do it. Then this concept we will apply in the TestNG for login, logout, those stuff. So create a class. Before that, let's name the package like user defined methods and class name method invoking the objects, nothing but instance object. Okay, let me give like this: instance methods or non-static method, public static void main, finish. Let me maximize it. Okay, remember this itself a method, public static void main, this itself a method. So don't try to code any method. Whatever I'm going to teach, mostly if you are totally new to Java, this is a very common mistake. They try to create a method inside a method and then they call me and ask, program is not working. It's not possible to create a method inside a method. So you can call another method. You can't create a method inside a method. Always you can create here or you can create here. Anywhere is fine. But remember, don't create anything here. Let's create the user defined method. Very easiest program. Addition of two numbers. Just remember the syntax, then it's going to be very easy. First, we will see method which returns values. Okay. Addition of two number, you're giving two number means it should give me the output. What is the output? So we call that as a method which returns the value. So what is the syntax? Syntax Access modifier. Again, this is one more advanced topic. We have 4 types of access modifier. Sure. Public, protected, default, private. In order to start this topic, I should complete a lot of inheritance and other concepts. So I'm not going to confuse you a lot. I will be using everywhere public only. Public means it can be accessed by everyone. Just remember that way. So all the methods we will make it as public. Access modifier and return type. Return type means you're trying to add a 2 integer means that the return type will be an integer. Then method name and arguments. If you want to pass an argument, we have to tell the data type and the variable name. For example, you can say like, how can I say an example? Okay. Login into the application means you have to tell username and the password, because that 2 arguments we have to pass it here. That's called the method with argument. Some of the method, even without this also we can code it. It's purely depends upon the requirement which you are going to code it. Maybe in future in TestNG I will show you such examples. So first, access modifier, public, and we are going to do addition of 2 numbers. So the return type will be, it will be an integer. Addition of 2 integer will be an integer. Return type means what is an output, and then what is a method name? Addition. Okay, then you're going to adding 2 number. 2 number means its data type and variable name. You can mention int num1 comma num2 or int a comma int b. Anything is fine. It's not a meaningful one, means integer number 1, integer number 2, and within the curly braces, 1 minute, I got a query. Any variable will work, but again, naming a variable is important. A, B means it's IJK, ABCD is not acceptable. So go with some meaningful name. It's your wish. Still, you're getting an error for a reason. You have to add the return type. So first, access modifier, public, return type, then method name, and then what type of variable. It's going to be 1, 2, 0. It's up to the requirement. We are going to add in 2 number. Okay. Then we know what addition of 2 number formula is, number 1 plus number 2. And that will be of return type int only. Let's save it to a variable. Result equal to the formula num1 plus num2. Then it should return the output. So the keyword for that is return. Semicolon. That's it. So what exactly? Okay, now we are done with the method which returns the value, and it's public, access modifier, return type int, adding the method name, 2 parameter, argument num1 and num2, and what is the formula? Formula is num1 plus num2. We know it. And what is the return type? It's an int. We are saving it to a variable, and finally we are returning. It means after this program is execution completed, it will return the output. Okay, let's try to call this particular method. And as I already said, it's an instance method. So you know how to use an instance variable. What we will do, we will try to create the object for that class. Instance of the object class name, object name, new class name, constructor. Same thing. Class name, object name can be any name. I will put obj for easy understanding. New and Constructor, very soon I will teach you once we complete the inheritance concept. So this is done. Now you see object dot, it is displaying the method name. See, addition int num1 comma int num2. It's clearly saying. So to value you want to do the addition, maybe like 50 and then 20, something like this, semicolon. So if we put inside this is out, you will get the answer 70. But again, it's not a good programming practice. Let's save it to a variable. And what is the output? It is going to be an int. Let's have a variable add. So this program, this method, we are saving it to variable add. Now let's display it. So this is some good programming practice. Always follow it. Don't directly apply these types of method inside the system.out.println. Even in future in Python, if it like it will be print statement, don't do that. Sometimes it will throw the exception. Always declare it to a variable and then display the value that particular variable in the sysout message. This is the best programming practice. Let's execute. Okay, we got the value 70. Let's try to understand what is the execution flow. Okay. So once this program started, we have so many methods. Let's consider 100 method also. First method, which the class file will call as always main method. First, always main method will be executed. Okay, main method is executed, then it comes here. So it's creating an object instance. And then it comes here. This line, object dot addition means it will try to find where is that. It will go here. First object dot addition 50 comma 20. So it will go and check. Yes, this is an addition. And in the place of num1, 50 it will pass. Num2, 20 it will pass. And then when it comes inside this, so 50 plus 20, the answer 70 will be saved to the variable result. Once this is done, it will return the value 70. 70 is stored in the result variable. When it returned, this object dot addition will have the value 70. Once again, you are saving it to a variable because I'm going to print it. Directly, you can mention this inside this is out, but that's not a good programming practice. So add will have 70. So this is how in the backend the execution will happen. Any value you can use it, maybe 50, 58, like 120, whatever the value you are going to give, automatically it will add and give you addition of two numbers. Now, same way, let's try to add one more method. That is maybe for subtraction, public, subtracting two number. Again, let's consider as of now as an integer value 1. So return type and then method name subtraction, two numbers, int num1 comma int num2. And if you observed one thing, the color, it's all in the brown color. Have you noticed it? Brown color means what? It's a local variable. This scope, the variable scope only inside this method. That's why when the method execution complete, this value will be erased, but we want that output. That's why we use the return keyword, so that the local variable value will be come out of the method. Now I can reuse the same because this method where this variable is scope is only within this method. That's why it's not throwing the error. If you use it as a instance or static variable, it will tell same variable name, we can't use it. So int result equal to num1 minus num2, return result, semicolon. Nothing here. Once again, we already created the object instance. So sub equal to subtraction equal to obj dot c subtraction. First number minus again number. So let me give like 200 comma 50. It means we will have output as 150. And let's print it. So, or else it can mention like addition of two numbers. That's also fine. Subtraction of two numbers. Let's execute. We'll get the output like this. Equal to your space. Addition of two numbers, subtraction of two numbers. Very simple. Now, take a notepad. Just write a method for multiplication of two numbers. Just take a notepad. In the notepad, just wait. You complete the code. Complete the coding and copy and ping me as a single answer. It's very easy. We are just copying means, but still that's a good practice. Write a method, full method for subtracting two numbers. Code and ping me the answer in the chat. Even the Zoom team, YouTube team can also participate in this. Take 5 minutes time. Let me see the queries. Tushar, this document is shared only to paid students. So you can enroll, get the documents and other stuff. Now you can code and share your answer. Multiplication of two numbers. Excellent, excellent. Very quick in coding. Good. There is no urgent. We have enough time. We can code it slowly. But I need reply from everyone. At least, not at least. You must reply from all Zoomers. Good, I mean. Yeah, Arun, great job. Good. It's just a practice. If you are new to Java, this is the first method you're writing. So at one point of time, you should remember all these syntax. So when you keep coding for multiple business logics in the test engine, then automatically you will remember the syntax. Array, good. Because whatever we are coding now, this program I will copy paste and just modify for next type of static method. So once you coded this means coding for static method is just adding of one keyword. That's it. I think big deal. Hi Chris, your answer is correct. Good job. But still I will tell you one curly brace is missed after the results. Just kidding you. But still, one curly brace is missed. What about others? The team members? One, two, three of them pinged me. 2 more minutes. Yeah, I got answers. Fine. Yes, sir. Is that Sandhya? Hopefully, you can rename it if that is you. Then your answer is correct. Okay, perfect. So it's very easy. Multiplication of two numbers. Don't worry about it's a very simple program now. What we are learning, nothing like that. The concept only important. If you understood the concept, any complicated program, you can come and use this logic. Int multiplication, int num1 comma int num2. You can use even a float. That also makes sense. I said for int, maybe I'll use here as a float. So float result equal to num1 star num2. Return result. Here again float multiply equal to multiplication something. Multiplication of two numbers. You have to mention F. See, change the okay float. Okay, float, float. Okay, it's asking for double. Mention is FF. So I'm passing the two value as float. We will execute this and you got the answer as float type. So we are done with the first type of method, instance method. In that method which returns the value. Now the next one, method which does not return any value, should not return any value. There are sometimes we don't want any output from particular method, so we can use that, and we call this as a void method. This is our developer will say. Note down this word. They will not say which returns a value without returning. They will say create a void method. mostly in the examples which we will be seeing in future, I'll be creating the void method. So there is no big difference in the syntax, same syntax. Here, instead of a return type, you have to make it as a void. Mostly that's the return type. Public return type, it is not going to return anything. We will call that as a void method, and method name display. And you can pass some input. You no need to pass input. It's up to you. It's going to be a problem for me. Okay. I'll make this as an in, or else I have to teach you method overloading and method overriding. I'll make everything as an int. Okay. Now, result. Result, or it can be anything. You want to put a value. So, access modifier, return type void, and method name display. And int, one value. I'm just getting a value. Here, I will just display the value is there. Plus, just display that value. You're creating a method. Let's try to use it. So every time, instead of coding like this again and again, what we can do is we can reuse this method. It is a display method. How can I do that? Very easy. After we complete this, here I will add it. Object dot display, pass the add. Object dot display sub. Object dot display multiplication. So I'm reusing the method. That is the main concept. That is the indirect meaning of this example. You're not coding it again and again, just reusing the method to display the output. So the value is 178, 150, 585, something like this. In framework and all, this is what we will be doing. So there is no big difference here. This is method which returns the value. So here return type and return keyword we should mention. But this method which does not return any value, we will make it as void method. And now come here. We learn three keywords. Public keyword is for everyone. Static keyword means that's the next method we are going to learn. Void means what? This method, it will not return any value. That's a void method. The method name is main, and it is passing the arguments as a string data type. String. This is an array of string. So this is still we have to touch the static keyword. We'll come back to that. And now when we go to slides here, I said reusability of a code. I'm reusing this code again and again. I can use n number of places. And easy modification, what that means? If we used this way and you want to update, suddenly functional team saying this report is not up to the level, it's with a grammar mistake. Can you update it? Means you can't go and modify everywhere. It's a very tedious process. But when we use method like this, in one place, if you modify the output, the report will be generated accordingly. So they are saying instead of value, it will be great if you mention the output value is like that. If you mention output equal to something, then it will be look good in the report. Means just I am modifying in one place and executing. See all the wherever it is, automatically it got replicated. That's the easy modification. So this is the main reason, reusability and easy modification. Just because of these two words, all the automation frameworks wants to follow creating of user defined method. And again, readability. Now it's easy for us to learn. This is reading like as different method. That's what they call it as good in readability. So we are done with the first method, that is instance method, or another word non-static method. And the method without returning value, we call that as a void method. Now the next type of method is static method. Let me right click, create a static method example, public static void main. What I'm going to do, I'm going to reuse the same program. Fill this and put here. This is an instance method, control A, control I, auto indentation. Now, in the syntax, access modifier, if you include the keyword static, exactly how we did in a variable, instance variable, we added the static keyword, no? Same way. If you add static keyword in front of that, this will change to static method. See? Static method. So we just change everything, public static void main. Again, public static void. This is not a main, this is a display method. So all the method we change to static. And what is the concept we learned in variable? Static variable, it's the class level scope. Once declaration means entire, all the employees, all the objects can use it for memory management, right? For a variable. Same way, some method, it needs to be followed by all in the entire framework. You don't want to create the object, just one method, we have to use it everywhere. We will create as a static method. Most of the framework, they try to put static method. Now, how to access a static method? Again, how we access a static variable? Directly we called it, right? Same way, you have to directly call the static. How to do that? Same example, int add equal to, press control space bar. It is displaying all the static methods. See here, addition, subtraction, multiplication, display. All these are static methods. So addition of two numbers, 50, 100. And then you want to display the output. Control space. How you will display the output? Display add. So when we execute here, what happens? Automatically, it will go here, and here the value to value it passes. Okay. Yeah, to value it passes and it will return. Finally, we are getting the output in this add and displaying it. Simple, whatever the explanation I gave for the execution of this method, same way, static method which returns the value. Static method which returns the value here. Instance method which returns the value. And this one, static method without returning the value. This one, it will just display the output. That's it. Same way, int sub equal to, and those who are totally new to today class without watching the previous static variable, instance variable, means you will not get anything. You may not get fully. So please go and watch that particular video. We have already discussed about this multiple times. Same concept, I am applying it for static method. So here I'm not creating any object instance. Still, we are getting the output 150. So same, if you understood instant and static means, same thing here also we are doing, but syntax is quite different. Access modifier, return type, method name, argument. Sometimes we will have arguments, sometimes we may not have the arguments. And passing the value, getting its return type. So method which returns the return type. Sometimes method without the return type. That's the first one. And static again, just mention static in front of the return type. So this method will automatically change to static method from instance. So for static method, you no need to create the object instance. Directly you can use it. So that's the second type. Method which returns the value, method without return the value. Almost, not almost, it is exactly same. Only we included the keyword static. So the memory management. Just one method, it is common for the entire framework if we talk in terms of automation. So that's about the static and non-static method. How to invoke the method. So if it is a non-static method means we have to create the object instance to invoke that. If it is a static method means we no need to create the object instance. So when you always before going to interview, go through this slide, this points are something like I have referred multiple website and found like these are all the keywords very important. So don't skip any of the slide. Every slide, every word is important. Now method rule for variable. So before that, it is not actually, most of them getting confused with constant and common. What is whether the value of this will not change? It will change, right? Sometimes they can, Facebook is, they changed their name. Now some other Meta. So it can change, but it is common for all the employee. But constant, pi is equal to 3.14. That is a constant, it will not change. So static means that value is common for all the object for the class level. Can we call a method created inside? Yes, we can call it. That and all from another class. Side, that is, we call it as in topic we will be learning very soon. I'll teach you from one method how to call from one class how to call the method from another class. That's we call it as inheritance. As of now, within the class, we are trying to reuse it again and again. The same thing we will be learning it in the next class in the inheritance concept, these stuff. So whatever we are learning this, I'm going forward like next 4 to not all the classes from now, everything we deals with the method. So please make sure you understood this concept or else you will not get any of the class. So now inheritance, polymorphism, anything I teach, it will method overloading, method overloading, everything. It's all about method only from now. So please make sure and let me know, is everyone clear? You can reply me in the message, Zoom team and also YouTube team. It's all clear. Yeah, Anil, your answer is correct. Clear till now. Okay, you can reply or give me a thumbs up. Zoom. Perfect. Very, very important team. I'll show you some, at the end, I'll show you some sample code, how we will be having it in the TestNG. Then you will understand the importance of this particular topic. So I'm waiting for reply from YouTube. And yes, thank you, Chris, for replying me. Yeah, let's go to the next one. This is quite, what I can say, quite confusing one and very important. Both one minute query, both return value void we can use in the same. How can you use it? It is totally wrong statement what you said. Void method means it will not return any value. Returning value means you have, see, you are see, the last one word which you make me to fear. See, I'm saying you again, we have two types of method. One is instance method, another one is static method. That's we understood. Inside that, we can have two categories. So how can you create a static method? How can you create an instant method? Two ways we can do it based on the requirement. One is method which returns the value, another one is method without returning the value. So let me tell with some one question made me fear. See, I'm saying it again. In terms of automation, login user, you're creating a method. This one. Then launch application, you're creating a method. Then register demo, you're creating a method. Then logout, another method. Close application, another method. So we are creating a method. Leave about the method whether you are going to use static or instant. That's a different one. It depends upon the framework. Some method we want to modify. Sometimes we will use static. Sometimes we will go with instance. Leave about that. But when just as of now, you're creating a method. Means this is of two categories. One is which returns the value without returning the value. So you're saying a code, just go and enter the username and password. That's it, enough for me. You no need to do anything for me. No return time. I will say this is a void method. Same way, you're giving the URL and browser name. No need of any output. Logout of the application. I don't want anything else. Actually, logout means here also username. I can say login means you will give username and a password. This is one example. Method without returning value and passing the argument. And this one, just you will say logout message. Here there is no need of passing any value. Close application. Again, it's a void method. You're just saying close the application. You don't need to give any input value. That's an argument. Now, this one. Here, you are saying register the demo. And here you are passing all the data. All the data means username, not username, that first name, last name, email ID, all the data you are passing. Like comma, I don't think that way. We have Java connections, right? Just in one variable, we can pass multiple data. I'll teach you soon. You're passing all the data. At the end, it should return me something. It should return what? It should return the registration number. It should return the policy number. It should return the patient number or some data is created. So this is the place where return methods. So now you got it right. Everyone, please don't get confused. Always correlate with Selenium real-time example. So in this one example itself, we understood. I just added all the scenarios. Void method, with you're passing some input argument. This is also a void method. Here you will pass the URL. And this is a void method. You don't need to say anything. Just log out. That's it. You no need of any input. Close application. No need of any input. All these calls under a one category. Now a method which returns the value. After completing the registration part, return it. After completing the booking, return me the PNR number. So there comes the return. So these stuff. So if you understood this example means going forward, it's purely your common sense. So in TestNG, based on the input or based on the requirement, you have to choose this. Now itself, I'm saying most of the time we will be using the instance method only, because static method is only one complication. What is that complication? I will tell you now. That's the next topic. Not complication, leads to error. So here we learned four stuff. So everyone clear this one, right? This example, then only I'll go to the next topic. Everyone clear, right? This one. Suddenly I got scared of last query. Everyone clear? Shall we move on to the next topic? Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, we learned instance variable, static variable, then instance method, static method. If we create a framework, definitely we are going to use all these four. So there are some rules you have to keep it in your mind, or else while creating or while working in the framework, you will get some error and it is very tough to find why it's getting failed. It will, and sometimes this Eclipse will suggest you a solution and you implement it, it will corrupt the entire framework. Remember. So this 4 point, if you remember, you can touch the framework. If you're not getting this 4 point, you should never modify anything in the framework. That is the impact it will create. 3 point, not even a 4 point. First, let's try to learn this with some simple example. Definitely, I will try to confuse you now itself. Then only in the project you won't get confused a lot. Okay, this one, new class. This is methods rule for variables. Most of them will miss this topic. This and all, it's not important in terms of interview, but it will help you especially while creating codes, while entering something in the existing framework. And I already, you all remember, we have an assignment in the existing framework. You have to create some method names. Remember this thing you should follow. Okay. This rule. Let's consider int a is equal to 10. What is this? It's an instance variable. Static int b equal to 20. What is this? It's a static variable. Then this is the instance variable. Okay, maximize. Now, let's create a method. What method? Let's create public static void and display method. Now you have to answer me. This is a static method. By seeing the keyword itself, we know that. Inside the static method, you are going to access a two variable, which is nothing but instance variable and a static variable, A and B. So tell me, can you able to see an error? Yes. Which variable is getting an error? Ping me the answer. You have code in front of you. Which variable? Don't say A, B. Say the key. What is that variable name? What type of variable name? Instance variable. It's not int. Int means integer. Give me the full name. Yeah, it's an instance variable. So what is the rule for static method? If you are creating a static method, inside a static method, only we can use the static variable. We can't use the instance variable. So now you understood what is the problem of working with a static. Because if you create a static method, you have to be very careful handling all the variables. You can't pass an instance variable. So what exactly this will do? If you try to do it, it will just give the compile time error. Compile time error. And so what is the point we have to use here is in static method, only static variables can be used. Remember this one point. In future, If something happens, see here it will tell like this. Suddenly, what you will do? Change A to starting. See here now, team. It is giving me some suggestion. You click this, you are changing the variable thing into a static. And if this variable is used in somewhere in the framework and you made this as a static means your framework will work in a very weird way. You don't know where the execution is happening, where the failure is happening, because you can't find the failure. It is not showing any error. Someone changed the instance to a static. This example, what will happen if you change this as a static, you change this as a static, entire program will collapse, right? Object creation, code will end into a problem. That's it. It's a very tough to find in the framework where what changes you made, it created a big issue. That's why when you enter into the automation project, mostly we will not allow anyone to start asking them to create a method. First, we will make them to run the sanity suit regression should give me the results for a month. After that, we will teach them, okay, go and update the object repository, OH object model, which we will be learning. Then after trusting them only, we will give them opportunity. Okay, now you can create the method because one keyword, you some error came and you directly used like this means that's it. One keyword will create a big problems. So remember this one point, mostly you can able to code any complicated types of method combination, method and variable combination. First one is done. Now, let me create a non-static method or instance method. Public void. It can be void or return. Let's go with a void. Very easy to code it. I will create another method. Display true. Sysout A, sysout B. Tell me, is there any error? Yes, no. No error. It means what? We can use both the instance and the static variables. Very simple concept. So just because of this, it avoids a lot of errors. So that's why in the framework and all, I will be giving you the framework, right? It's already in the canvas portal. If you open and see, 99% all the frameworks methods are created as a static method, as a instance or non-static method, and some function library which we created that will be of static one. So I don't want any of our team members to go and disturb my method because that method is common to the entire framework means such methods I would have created using static. And the rest of the user defined method, okay, it's your wish. You can, or usually everyone will be using a non-static method. So, and if you want to display here, you can do it. Display, it's a static method. Directly we can call it. It will print the value. Which one? 10 and 20. Okay. Only B, right? So it is 20. And if you want to display this message means this method, sorry, this one we are done. Non-static means what we should do. We have to create the object instance. Class name object equal to new class name constructor and then obj dot display. So now it will display 10 and 20. So we have a lot of advantages of when we able to code as a instance method or non-static method. So whenever you see the keyword static, if some error comes in future project, now itself I'm saying, please call your lead and fix it there. Don't change any keyword. This will be a very big impact in the entire framework. Maybe when time comes, I will show it in the framework level also. But still, you will we get some escalations. So that keep them in mind. Everyone clear? One of the biggest important topic we completed. Static variable, instance variable, static method, non-static method. All clear? All clear? Shall we move on to the next topic? Okay. Ping me, Zoom team, clear? Shall we move on to the next one? So the next topic, that is oops concept. Most of them, including me, when someone used to tell Java means it's very tough, I'm scared about Java, blah blah. Oops is very tough. So when you have such type of process means now itself erase it. It's very easy if we go it in a sequential way. And one of the widely used concept in Java oops concept is inheritance. If you understand inheritance only, the next topic, overriding, overloading, you will get it. Polymorphism, you will get it. So it's something like both of them have some correlations. So first, let's focus on inheritance. As usual, we'll go like a story. So let me talk the reality. For example, your parents having some car, some cash, some house for you. Definitely they will be having it for you. So as per the Indian law, I know well about Indian law. I don't know if you're from US, I'm not sure what's that law will follow. As per the Indian law, is it possible we can able to access our parents' property? Properties means everything, car, cash, and home, jewels, whatever. We can able to access it. We can able to use it. Now tell me the vice versa condition. As per the law, whether is it any possible for the parents to use our property? Say yes or no in the chat. As per the law, whether our parents are allowed to use our properties. I got two answers. What about others? I think in US also same way. So the law says, you think no, sir. Sorry, I think that's of course the law says child can use parents' property, but parents can't use child property. It's up to you. You're giving money to your parents and all secondary thing. But what does the rule says? They can't order you. They can't use your things. So let's put this into the Java. If you understood, if you remember this one story, it's more than enough. Inheritance is completed. So the first is inheritance. This is what the inheritance. Okay. I don't know why this one. Let me maximize it. I'm not getting full screen. So just closed and opened again. Yeah. This we are clear. Parents and child relationship we understood. Now, even in YouTube, you can reply me. I'm waiting for your reply. Okay. Now let's see the definitions. What the definition says. When one object acquires all the properties and behavior of parent object, it is known as inheritance. One object means what? Child. Parent means, of course, it's the parent. All the properties and behaviors. Technically, it is variables and methods. That's the meaning. So, I think Sai asked this question. Is it possible to call a method from one class to another class? Yes, it's possible with the help of inheritance. So the child can able to reuse all the variables and methods of parent class. So one class is calling in another class when you can reuse it from the parent. So child can use all the methods and variables from the parent class, but vice versa, parent can't use the child properties and behave properties, and that is properties and behavior variables and method. First point, the definition is very easy. And what is the biggest advantage of that is code reusability, because already your parent is having some car, home, cash. Then buying one more same model is something stupidity, right? I can use the same car. If I want something, I will buy of some other brand, some other car. So same brand, same color, if you buy again, that's a stupidity. Waste of money. So same thing, it will come for even in the coding. Already if someone has created a method, why you want to code it again? You can call from them. So there comes the inheritance. So you are going to call from someone. Someone means that's your parent and you are the child. Or else we call this as a superclass. Parent is another word we will call superclass. This child or subclass will say superclass, subclass. Like that also in some books they would have mentioned it. Okay. And because of this grammatically, it's we call it as ECA relationship or parent-child relationship. Now, how will you call technically two classes there? One class is going to another class, going to call the another class. What is the keyword? It is extends. Any interview, they will ask this question with, and if it's an online exam, they will give option like extend, extends, implement, implements. They will confuse you. Remember, it will, yes, extends. So with the help of extends keyword, we can able to call the superclass. That's the first point. And why we are doing it for code reusability. And this second point, the method overloading, this we will discuss it later. So this is the inheritance. So we have the time. Now the inheritance divided into three types. Single level in book and all we have like 5. Leave about those stuff. We always remember these 3. It's more than enough. Single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and then hierarchical inheritance. First we will see the single level inheritance. What we have discussed now, we are going to use the parents properties, parents methods and variables. That's the single level. So this I'm going to convert to a program. That's an account and saving account program. So what is the story I'm going to tell us? For example, some maybe like 50 years back when they decided to start a bank, what they thought, okay, let's create an account concept. In that account concept, 2 main functionalities are important. What is that? It is deposit and then withdrawal. So these 2 functionality they have already created account class, and they are using this for a long time. This is how the bank came, and later only they came up with a concept called a saving account, current account, like that. So mostly these codes are already in the account class. Why you want to create again? So what you can do, you can reuse it. So single level inheritance, this is what I am going to implement. Same way we have multiple examples. So step by step, if you remember the story, then it is very easy to complete inheritance. Let me close all the stuff. One minute, cross checking your queries. Perfect. In case of any queries, you can ask me. Okay. Let's create a class, account class. Account class on exchange, it is inheritance. Public static void main finish. So banking means definitely we are going to have two types of functionality. One is deposit, another one is withdrawal. Going forward, everyone don't think too much about the functionality of the method. What is deposit, what is withdrawal? Don't think about it. Just how this inheritance is implemented. That is how you should listen to this class. So I'm creating, I will make everything as a instance method and void method without return type. So first method, public void, you have to deposit. This is how in real time the developers will do it. Here we are not going to worry about code implementation. So just we'll say like amount is deposited. Coding just we will say that. No programming concept or that logic and all. We will say yes, executed. Just for knowledge purpose. It will give more clarity. So this method is deposit. When we execute, it is saying yes, amount is deposited. And this method belongs to which class? Account class is executed. One method. Let's have another method. Public void withdrawal. So okay. Withdrawal method, same thing. Sysao amount is withdrawn. Which class? It's inside the account class is executed. So now still inheritance is not implemented. It's a normal way, like 50 years back, a few years back, the bank started. This is how they are. This is the what I can say. These are the features they are providing to the customers. You want to execute and check whether it's working or not. How you will do it? Creating the object instance, like account class, what the class name, object name, because we have to test it. Okay, constructor. Then object dot, it's a deposit, object dot withdraw. If we execute, we will get the output for sure. Amount is deposited, account class is executed. That is what we call, and amount is withdrawn, account class is executed. So two methods are working. So it's a normal way, single class. Now we decided, okay, we are going to come up with a new functionality for our customer, like we will provide saving account and current account, and a lot of discussion will happen within the developers. Okay, first what we will do, first we will try to develop the saving account, and once that module development is completed, later we will try to develop the current account. That is what they discussed. So first they are doing, okay, let's do the development of saving account. Public static void main finish. So when developers started, what are all the requirements they are saying? Okay, in the saving account, the customers going to use three features like deposit, withdrawal. In addition to that, let's give view summary. View summary means these customers can able to see the summary of the transaction. Like that, we are providing them some development. And we already know we have these two functionalities. Somewhere it coded deposit and withdrawal. So why to code it again? It is again a waste of time, right? It is already developed. In this example, just 4 lines of code. Just remember real-time project. You will have thousands of method. 1 minute. Sai, for instance method only, we have to create the object instance. We are creating, right? Object instance. This is an object instance. Class name, object name, new class name constructor. Class name is account. Using that object only I'm calling. Is that clear, sir?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Now we already know that saving account already these two, it's somewhere we call this as a parent. Now inheritance I'm going to implement this one child. Two methods are already there. Why to code it again? Let's reuse it. So inheritance. What is the keyword? We have to use saving account to account. This one. This to this. So what is a keyword? It's an extends keyword. In Java, only two keywords we will use it in future. One is extends, another one is implements. Definitely in all the interview, they will ask this question. Don't get confused. We are focusing on inheritance. It is extends. So extends, what is the parent name? Who is our parent? Parent is account. Just paste it. That's it. Now see the magic. Yes, it's a parent. Yes, exactly. That's why I commented here. This, always remember the story. Who is our parent? Parent child. Account, saving account. Go with the story. So, account. Parent, child. Now, if we create the object instance of this class, automatically we can able to see, because you extended the account class. Now, create the object instance inside the child. Maybe like person one, you're going to open an account for person one. So I'm giving new object instance I'm creating. Class name, object name, new class name constructor, and see the magic. Dot deposit dot withdrawal. So what? We are reused the code. This is what? Inheritance. We are executing from which account? It's a saving account. From where we are getting the output? From the account class. For this reason only, I have included that line. It will tell amount is deposited, withdrawn, but we should know from where. No, it's from the parent class. So account class only. From there only we are reusing inheritance. From one class, you're trying to call the another class method. So now see this diagram. Parent to child, saving to account. This is what we discussed now here. You're trying to use all the properties of your parents, and reverse is not possible. Always remember, reverse is not possible. Reverse, if you're that also I will show you. And till now, is everyone clear? Till now, till this point, all clear? Now, from now, it's going to be like a sandwich. To every concept, I will be adding one more level. Everyone clear? Please message me. Inheritance, single level inheritance, we are done. Okay, and cross check once with you, clear? 1 year. So that I'll move on to the storybook page. Okay, I'm waiting for the reply. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Chris. So, in reality, in most of the case, definitely we are going to use our parents' properties, and also we will earn some property, right? You are going to earn something for your own stuff or for the next generation. So that is what here I'm going to implement. So you can use your parents' property. In addition to that, you can have your own properties, your own variables and method. So that is what we are going to code it. So what is the method? Let's put like public int view summary, one method. So if you give the account number, automatically it will print and give you. So this method is specific. It's only for you. So multiple ways to remember, multiple points are there in the story. First thing is we are reusing the parent code. That's a one point you can remember. And also in terms of a development, we are reusing the code and also whatever the new requirement you are putting it here. So anyway, you can dig it out. So first one, I will say the account summary is displayed for which customer for that number. Now, for a change, I'm trying to use an instance with returns the value. And also, we will say this class belongs to saving account class is executor. Still, it will be, you can add the result. See, add return statement, that account number. So you're just passing it and printing it and finally getting back here. Now we created object name dot view summary, give some number, something like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's execute. So what happened? The account summary is displayed for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, put like this. Okay, just listen here. So what exactly happened here is with the help of extends keyword, we use the parent, nothing but the account. From there, we got two methods. One is deposit, withdraw. We got it, see. Amount is deposited. This is from the account class. Amount is withdrawn. It is from the account class. Now, in addition to that, you can also have your own method. So it is in the child one, view summary, where you are giving the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is going inside this and it will display it here. So the account summary is displayed for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you can create this with void main or void also, but still I want to use all the ways. And from where it executed, it is in the saving account. So this is the first level in single level inheritance, because the communication happens between just one layer. Now I hope you all clear. Now let's move on to the next level. Single level is 10. Now the next level, I am bringing in another guy, grandparent. Let's talk about the law once again. The law again says you can use your parent's property and also your grandparent property. The law says actually even your parent can't stop your grandparent property. The law says. So this is the multi-level. It's not multiple. Remember, multiple inheritance is impossible. So in interview, they will confuse you whether multiple is possible means it's no multi-level, because before we saw single level, this is multi-level. For simplicity, I took just 1, 2, 3 level. In real time, you can have even 50 levels. That's why we call it as multi, not multiple, multi-level. So child can use parents, parent can use grandparent. So what's an advantage? You have access to a lot of methods, reusability. So that is what here we are saying. And the arrow mark is towards thought. And this is impossible. That is, the grandparent can he use parent means it's not possible. Parent can use child, that's not possible. Reverse is not possible. So this example, we are converting back to the real-time stuff, like in the bank, they decided, okay, there are some customers who's having a very good bank balance. So what we can do, we can give them some privileged account. So maybe that account holders can have a credit card, only those have such a good balance. So they are coming up with a new requirement. And if you think this saving account holder will have deposit, withdrawal, and view summary, this privileged account will have Of course, all these feature, this is deposit. I think I have to erase it. Again, we already know here it's a deposit, then withdrawn, and here it's a view summary. Now, privileged account guys definitely will have all these three in addition to the credit card. Yes, Srikanth, you're right. Just now I saw your message. Child class can have its own method along with parent class method. Here, child will be having access to both parent and also grandparent. In addition to that, child can have its own method. Credit card. So this is an example I'm going to implement. Yes, can use grandparent property. I'm going to implement this story, account saving account. We already completed this coding. Now I'm going to create a privileged account. One minute, team. Important call. Okay. Message. Now let's create a class. This time, what is the class name? It's a privileged account. Privileged account or privileged account, whatever it is. Account. Public static void main. Actually, that public static void main to test those scenario. Even it's not once they complete the coding, they will remove these stuff. This is like unit testing. As of now, I am commenting it. Now, privileged or privileged account, whatever it is. Okay, privileged. Okay, I missed GED. Now comes time for interview. Take the chat. You can only reply me. First question. 2 questions. Thank you. Okay, it's okay, fine. You are saying, what is the keyword to implement inheritance? What is the keyword to? Just reply me the answers quickly. What is the keyword? Extends. Yes. Okay. Extends. And tell me, as per the diagram, if you call which class such a way that I can use all. Why you are coming up with implements? I already said. Oh. Extends keyword. Oh, implements, why you came? Just now you saw this. This is for the inherit. This is for future stuff. I said these 2 keywords are important. We will use inheritance. Okay. Okay, what is the keyword used for implements? It's an extends keyword. As per the diagram, if you call which method so that you can able to use you can able to reuse all the methods, you will call which one? Oh my god, someone answered me wrong answer. Just tell the name. Don't tell parent, grandparent, child, and all. Tell me the method name as per the requirement. Come again, team. Please give me the right answer. In this, if you call which method, you can able to reuse all the 3 methods. And meanwhile, I want answers only in the text. Which class if you call so that you can use all the 3 methods. Question is straightforward. three methods we created: deposit, withdraw, view summary. Which method, if which class, if you call, you can use all the three. It's such a easy question. I'm not, yeah, I got the answer, still I didn't reply for it. Meanwhile, Srikanth, Arun, Anil, Chris, great answers. Extends is the right keyword. And Srikanth, yes, your answer is correct. Let me see here. Praveen, correct. Sorry, Praveen alone correct, and also Sandhya is correct. Rest of them, I didn't get any answer. I got the answer, but that's wrong. Let me tell where you went wrong. Apply the logic. See, visualize. Already this account is having deposit withdrawal. And we already called the account. Now the saving account is having all the three. So which one you should call? You should call saving account, right? If you call saving account, you can be able to use all the three. Am I right? Is that very tough to get the concept? Here itself it is saying, see, if you call from here directly to account means, okay, you calling only account means what you can do? Only two things you can use, right? That's again, it's an inheritance. Now we are discussing about multi-level. Privileged account is calling the saving account. Saving account is calling the account. So it's a multi-level. Is everyone clear where you went wrong? Team. All clear? Why we are calling saving account? You should not go in the wrong direction. It's very important because it's just 3 level. In real time, you will have like 4 to 5 levels. Just remember our story. We already implemented the code for account. From account, we use the saving account. We reused it. Now I need all the three. This guy is having everything. So I'm just calling the saving account. Now see, I want to use all the method means create the object instance, obj equal to new, class name, object name, class name constructor. So instead of obj, 1 minute. Okay. I'm just reading all the queries. Person 2. Using this, let's try to use it. See, let's first deposit. You have it. After withdrawal, sorry, it is withdrawal. We have it. And then view summary. We have it. For this particular person, we have the view summary. So this 3 feature, child can able to use it. And you see, this is a privileged account, but first 2 method we got it from the account class. This method we got it from the saving account class. In addition to that, we can have their own method, credit card. So this method belongs to only for privileged account, but vice versa. Is the saving account guy can have this credit card means it's not possible because this is a special privilege we are going to give for a particular customers who have some good balance. So public void credit card int account number sys out. So I'll say like credit card dispatched to the customer. Something I'll put just that customer, to which customer. In addition to, as usual, which class is executed? It is privileged account class is executed. Let's see it here. Person2 dot credit card. Can give the same number. The credit card guy will have some other, maybe the credit card will say it. Logically it should be same. Let's execute. See the output. two methods from the parent account class, one method from the, two methods from the grandparent account class, one method from the parent saving account class, one from its own child privileged account. So multi-level inheritance is done. Everyone clear till now? Good. Okay. Okay, I have one more. That's an hierarchical inheritance. Anyhow, we will see that tomorrow. Let's try to recap this topic. Meanwhile, let me check it here. Yes, Chris, Srikanth, Anil, your answer is correct. Good job. Okay, let's do a short recap. First, we learned how to create a user-defined method. This is the basic or fundamentals for next 10 classes or next 20 classes. The syntax is access modifier, return type, method name, sometimes with parameter, sometimes without parameter. So public int, return type, and method name, two values you are passing. After that, saving it to a variable and you're returning the value. So we say that which returns the value. Since it's an instance method, we have to create the object instance and call that. And second type is method without returning the value. We call that as a void method. And you can pass the value or without that also it will work it. So this is the first one. And static means it's just class level video, class level method. So just add before return type or after access modifier static keyword. When we bring static memory management, you no need to create object instance again. This is for the entire project or entire class. If you use inheritance concept, those methods we can't override. That's a concept we will discuss tomorrow. So two types of method we understood. And then inheritance. Inheritance means what? First thing, as per the definition, when one object acquires all the properties and behavior of the parent object. If someone is asking, it's not like you have to tell like this. When child class uses the variables and methods of parent class, that's called inheritance. That's it. Very simple language you can use it in interview. It's not like exact like book definition because it's child class can reuse the parent class variables and methods. That is what they call this properties and behavior of parent object. That's called inheritance. And how can you do that? With the help of extends keyword. And what is an advantage of that? Code reusability. And this is also called ECA relation. And there are three types of inheritance. First one, single level inheritance. Here, account and saving account. Account we created. Account class is a parent class, that is deposit and withdrawal. So here we are using the extends keyword and calling the account class, creating the object instance. We are reusing the deposit and withdrawal. In addition to that, child can have its own method. This is the one. And then we are bringing the privileged account. So multi-level inheritance. This time saving account is the parent. So whichever the next method to you, next class to you, the class which you are calling, that is called parent class or superclass. So you are trying to reuse deposit, withdrawal, and view summary because privileged will call the saving account will call the account. In addition to that, can have its own method, credit card. So that's the multi-level inheritance. Okay, Zoom team, please stay in the call. Let me complete the streaming for YouTube and then we will discuss all your queries. Everyone here. If they are clear, waiting for the reply, then we can discuss one by one, please, right? And also some interview questions, let me show it. Yeah, thank you, Chris, and all the team members who are watching. This looks very easy. If you feel like, try to code it again, or else you will forget this for sure. And trust me, the same concept we will be using across in all the OOPS concept. First, when you come for tomorrow class, you must know how to write a method and how to implement the inheritance. Just complete these two programs. It's more than enough. Just complete one level. That's more than enough. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow. Good night. Bye all. I'm just ending the stream.